a 1 7/8 mechanical spring jar. This is your bottom sub, your retainer sub, your piston, your second sub, your nut, 4 set screws needed for assembly, your pump barrel, your main rod or main mandrel, your fishnet, your bolt, your plug, double pin sub, load barrel, I think I already said pump barrel, your 2 keys, your key springs, 4 of those, key retainers. This is your mechanical spring jar rod, and then 49 Bellevue washers. So the first thing you do is you assemble it in sections, this tool. You take this, slide that over there. You take your nut, a little grease on your piston. Your lower sub, put your lower sub on. Do that. Now you clamp it in the vise in the flaps here. Your wrench. Tighten that up. Take you to two set screws. You want to just snuggle it over tight. Turn it over. Get your second sub. Put that off to the side. Now you take your bolt, take your key springs, put a little grease on the back of your spring so it sticks. Put your key retainer on your bolt. Do the same, so it don't matter which way they go. You want to take your key and put it on the bottom of your bolt. Put the bottom of your key at the bottom. Kind of turn it to get the springs to go in the little grooves on the bolt. Key retainer. Now there's a small side and there's a wide side. The wide side is for the expanding part of the keys, and the narrow side, you can tell the wide side will be loose on the key and the small side will be tight. Find which way it goes. Make sure they're spongy. Put a little grease on that. Take your big mandrel. Clamp it in the vise. Screw your bolt on. Tighten it up snug, pretty tight. Make sure they still retract and expand. Now you would bring this to the manual mill and get it drilled and pinned with a 3/16 roll pin. But for the video, I already have one done, drilled and pinned, ready to go. We'll use that one. Next step, you would take your little rod for all your little 49 washers, and it's very important the way they go on the rod. They kind of bevel a certain way, so you want to turn the bevel. The first one needs to bevel down. You should start with one bevel down, then your next two will go vice versa each other. So you should have a gap in between each one, like so, all the way. You get all 49 on there, following that pattern, and your last one should end opposite of your first one. The first one should be pointing down, the last one should be pointing up. You know, so forth, all the way down. So you get all of them on there. I already have one all set up, ready to go. Starting at the time of the video. Next thing you do is you take your pump barrel with all your rod, all your washers on your rod, and you want to take it on the side with the grooves, the little window where you can be able to see your washers in there, so you can turn it, you know, high, medium, low. The adjustment, take all that in there, slide it all in, flip it over, pull your rod out slowly so you don't flip your last washer. Then you take your little piston right here, and you got your hole, and you want to line these holes up when you slide it in. You line those holes up, slide it through, and you want to be careful so you don't flip your last one. Sometimes it'll catch your last ones on the way up. Flip it. Take your punch, pin it with a punch, make sure everything's situated in there. Clamp that in the vise. Normally you want to grease your rod. Forgot, so I'm going to put a little grease in right here. Take your little plug and you screw your plug on there. Take your wrench and you tighten it up just as much as you can with the wrench. Eventually you'll run out, it'll go down, you can't tighten it anymore. And you take this little assembly you made first, put some grease on it. There's a little square notch in there. As you turn, it's going to turn. You're going to turn to adjust your plug. Get to wiggle it. Once you get it lined up, the bottom part should free spool as your lower sub will stay still. Screw that all the way down. You have to hold this little nut from turning. The little nut will turn and tighten up on you. You won't be able to turn this bottom piece. Tight with a chain wrench. Now, you should be able to adjust where you want it to be in the window. It's on low already, so we're going to keep it on low. There's not tension on the springs. And we're going to put that off to the side. Now we go back to our rod we had built earlier on our upper barrel, our lower barrel. Slide your rod so forward through there. Clamp the rod in the vise. Put a little grease on it, your threads, take your fishnet, screw your fishnet on. Set screws in. Set screws at 3/8/16, 3/8 set screw we're using. Turn your barrel around. Put your fishnet pointed down. Double pin sub. A little grease on your double pin sub. Screw your double pin all the way down. Now, I put the double pin sub on this barrel to make sure when I slide it, the keys come out of the double pin sub. They have to be able to travel freely. The keys should slide in and out of there, not hang up. They should be able to span, go back and forth. Your keys are going to catch in the inside of this rod, which is in this barrel attached to all your washers. So now you can put a little grease on your keys. Slide in and out. Should only have 2 pieces at this point in time, all put together. A little more grease on the other end of your double pin sub. The rest of this mechanical spring jar assembly, screw it all together. Tighten it up. Take your, once it crosses that double pin sub, it's gonna latch into this. So it should not come back out if it latches in this. Slide your rod in, it bites it, it's good, it latched. Now for further testing we go, you can open on a pressure gauge and see how much pressure it actually takes to release. But for assembly, that's it.